Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our Discord server. We have a Q&A channel on the server, so if you want to ask me any questions, you can become a member and you can ask me anything you want. Of course, there are some questions that, cannot really get an answer because there are some things that we just don't know. And that's because it's impossible to know everything. But if you have some questions about our buying strategy or our selling strategy, then you can check out the memberships and you get access to all of our charts as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So I read a comment yesterday that told me I'm talking too much about Bitcoin and I should talk about the short term of Cardano as well. I did talk about it. I mean, there's nothing to say right now. It's still going up, so I'm still watching the fifth wave right here, but I can go ahead and explain the whole wave count again if you did not watch my previous videos. So first, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the bear market low right here. After we hit the bear market low in June of 2023, we formed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. That formed a first wave move up. Now after that, we formed a second wave move down, which was an ABC structure. And then after the second wave move down, I mean, this was the perfect time to buy right here. I gave you a support zone for this zone right here. We reacted to the 0.786 support level, which was exactly right here. And yeah, if you wanted to buy, you should have bought down here. Of course, you could buy up here and you will most likely be in profit in a couple of months, but still, if you wanted to make a lot of money, you should have probably bought down here when nobody really cared about crypto. And that's the thing about crypto. I mean, if you want to buy, you should not buy when the price is going up. You should actually buy when the price is going down. You should be fearful when the others are greedy, and you should be greedy when the others are fearful. And so far that has worked out perfectly for me. So yeah, anyways, let's continue with the wave count because that's what you are here for probably. After we formed the second wave move down right here, we formed another 1-2 setup. Now, it's still unclear to me where the second wave move down right here ended. Maybe this was the low, but you could also call this second wave move down an ABC structure with an overshooting B wave and a flat C wave. So you could say that, but you could also say that this right here was the low and, what we got after that was actually another 1-2 setup of the third wave right here. So it's really unclear and I will only be able to tell what this is once we actually get some type of correction. Then I will be able to give you a wave count that actually, is perfectly accurate. But right now it's really hard to have a perfectly accurate wave count because the price keeps going up and we do not get any kind of corrections. So it's really hard to say where we are at right now. There is a possibility that the third wave right here is still happening. I don't know if that's likely because at the end of the day, I mean, we are already at like the 400% extension of the 1-2 setup down here. So I don't know if the third wave gets to like the 400% extension before we get an actual fourth wave. But, I mean, this fourth wave move down, it's not really enough to be a fourth wave move. So maybe this is still the third wave. To be able to confirm that, we need some kind of break to the downside, and it needs to be, I don't want to say impulsive, but we need to go down a bit. Now, keep in mind, this is a bull market, so that might not happen. And as you know, during the bull markets, it's usually very difficult to actually count wave counts. The best way to count them is the weekly chart. And as you can see, if you look at the weekly chart, I mean, this is only a move up, so you cannot really count anything here. And you could say that this is still the third wave right here. And this is a 1, 2, 3. Then we'll get a fourth wave move down, and then we'll get a fifth wave move up at some point. That's also the case. Now let's say my wave count is right, which I don't know if it is, but let's say it is. If this is the third wave and this is the fourth wave, right now we have formed another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup and it looks complete to me. Of course, it could overextend a bit more, maybe to the 4.272 extension, but probably not more than that because the third wave move up was not really that impulsive and the fifth wave move up is not allowed to be more impulsive than the third wave, so I think this is almost over with, and this to me looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, so I think what's left is the fifth wave, and that's it. That's the end of the fifth wave and the fifth wave right here, and that will complete the first wave of the main third wave move to the upside, and that's the third wave of this very large 1-2 setup right here. And obviously that will happen during the altcoin season. I want to talk about Bitcoin dominance as well, but I'm probably not going to do that in this video because I've already talked about it too much. I would probably talk about it tomorrow, but to keep it short, all you need to know is that Bitcoin dominance is going down right now, and it will most likely continue going down for the rest of the month and then for the rest of next year. And whenever that happens, I mean, it's already happening, but whenever we get a very, very impulsive move to the downside on the Bitcoin dominance chart, that's when we will get these crazy moves that we got in the previous cycle right here. It has already happened, like I said. Bitcoin dominance already went down like 5%, but that's not enough to confirm that an altcoin season has started. I also want to talk about the long-term potential for this chart because I believe that's important. So after we get a second wave move down, which in my opinion should get somewhere in this region right here, so somewhere between 91.7 cents and 38.6 cents, well, actually forget about this one. We should not get to 38 cents. We should not get below the bull market support band. So we should stay above the 0.618. And as a matter of fact, let me get rid of the 618 and the 0.786 level. I think this is the best support zone that we have right now. So somewhere between 91.7 cents and 60.5 cents should be good. And if we do get a correction, we should stay above the bull market support band, like I said, and then we should bounce immediately like we did in the previous cycle. I will of course continue to adjust the support zone if the price goes higher, but for now, I mean, this is the most accurate support zone I can give you. Now let's go on the monthly chart. If you look at the monthly, I mean, it's looking very, very good, but we are almost overbought, and keep in mind, that's not a sign that we will start going down, because if you can remember what we did in the previous cycle, I mean, here, we also got to the overbought territory when the price was at like 42 cents. And this actually happened in January, which was a post-halving year. Well, it was 2021. So things are obviously moving a lot faster right now, but things are actually not so different when you compare them to the previous cycle. In the previous cycle, we also pumped quite a lot in November, and I did predict this pump. I did say that we will go up at least like 100% in November. We went up way more than that. We went up like 300%. I was expecting a pump, but I was not expecting a pump this big, but we got it, and that's good. And I mean, this pump pretty much confirms that the second wave move down is in. Of course, the fifth wave move up is still not in, but come on, I mean, you could already count 5 waves if you wanted to. So yeah, the second wave move down is in, and we are now going in a third wave move. Now what would that look like? Well, it would most likely look something like we got over here in the previous cycle. So the price will most likely continue to go up for the next few months, probably 6 to 8 months or so. As you can see, in the third wave in the previous cycle, we got to the 1.618 extension of the previous all-time high. If we want to do the same thing again, the third wave in this cycle needs to get above the all-time high first, which is at $3.16 or so, and then it has to get to the 1.618 extension of that all-time high, and that is at about $5.30. We don't have to do exactly what we did here, but so far we have been pretty much copying what we did right here, so maybe it's safe to say that we will do the exact same thing. Now keep in mind, that will only be the third wave, so the third wave could get above $5, then we could get a fourth wave move down, and then a fifth wave move up should be the, all-time high and the top for this cycle, and I predict that to be somewhere between $5 to $8. I have been predicting that since we were down here, and even down here, so, I think it is possible. Now, of course, it is possible to get to like $12 on this cycle, but that's a bit unrealistic right now. Of course, it's not impossible, considering the fact that Bitcoin will most likely get to a market cap of about 5 to 6 trillion in this cycle, so Cardano getting to a market cap of about, let's actually check that out, a market cap of about 420 billion would not be the most unrealistic thing. I mean, that's the market cap of Ethereum right now. Is that unrealistic? I don't think so. Is that going to happen? Maybe, maybe not, who knows. Oh, I also want to talk about the third wave right here. So I did say that if we want to copy what we did in the previous cycle, we have to get to about $5, but the minimum target for that third wave is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup, and that is at $2.98. So keep that in mind, that's the minimum target, the bare minimum. And even if we top right there and then we get a fourth wave move down, which will most likely be kind of deep, then the fifth wave could still put us at like $5. So $5 is my minimum target for this cycle. I think we will easily get there. Also keep in mind, from this all-time high, the 2018 all-time high, to this all-time high, Cardano went up. Let's actually check out how much. It went up about 126%. Now keep in mind, we had a pandemic drop right here, and in my opinion the price would have gone to like $5 if it weren't for the pandemic, but still, from this all-time high to this all-time high, Cardano went up about 126%. And if you take the 2021 all-time high and you go up about 126%, that puts us at about $7 for the next cycle. So, I mean, everything is pointing to Cardano getting about $5 to $8 in this cycle. So we should still be good, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our Discord server, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.